Hey people, injured here, 2v2, Desert Showdown, blue team, a bunch of Imperial Guard. First up is Fr33man1800 plays a Lord General. Fights range combat begins with a retinue to help him out. Lots of great defense and support capabilities, and he can add to this retinue throughout the game alongside more Imperial Guard. It's SuperHooper as a Commissar Lord. Good offense and support fights in melee combat, and begins with this refractor field that you see up against red team. It's Dark Heretic as a Warlock melee commander that can leap into combat, some awesome disruption and mobility, can also tank damage and deal damage pretty well. Gonna jump on the Lord General here, there we go, knocking him flying. And rounding off the team is PhatE as a Warboss melee commander that can walk through objects, some very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, and he is incredibly angry also at everything. So it's the Warboss versus the Commissar and the Lord General versus the Warlock. You have this kind of off-center contested VP here. Natural for blue on the west side, natural for red on the east side. And this very strange configuration with the natural rec points right in the north and south edges, and the base very, very close to the natural VPs as well. Bit of an odd map, but it's nice to see it. Variation in maps is always good. They don't all have to be perfectly balanced like Argus and Refinery. It's war, deal with it, just play them. So good on them for playing some Desert Showdown for us. Commissar Lord chasing off the Warboss now. Just a wall of lasfire there. The Sentinel getting its ground pound, so the sluggers will need to be careful. But they are on the west side right now, harassing Freeman. Sentinel does not have the ground pound for him, I don't think, no. So can't stomp. Banshees also chasing him, but they've chased him way too far here. They're going to get hit by base turrets soon and forced to retreat. Yeah, didn't need to push in, I don't think. Hide behind this wall and wait for stuff.
Won't be long, sir.
The Sentinel now decapping one of the natural powers for red team. That's annoying. Sentinels can decap points, but they cannot cap them. They're tier 1 vehicles with heavy infantry armor, so small arms fire will damage them. And as you see, it's triple shooters from PhatE. Gonna try and shoot stuff down before it can have any impact on the engagement. He might get the enhanced custom shooter, no sign of it yet. Sentinel also decapping the center VP. The Orks are gonna try and flank around. They're doubling the west side, are the Imperial Guard players. Imagine the crazy buffs you could get with the Commissar Lord alongside the Lord General. They both have very, very good buffs. 489, 452. Commissar's buffs more single target with his executes. The Lord General, lots of great area of effect buffs. Banshees easily stomped and forced off. Needs to be a bit more careful with that, and also needs to be careful not to send his Warlock and his Banshees onto the same target, or the Sentinel can stop them both, which is bad for him. 481, 452. That's basically an engagement winner, you would think, if he stomps both of them. Aiming, what's that? Suppressing the Commissar Lord there. But the shooters are forced off. Warboss having fun stomping through some guardsmen. These guys suppressed by something. Oh, it's a shuriken moving up from Dark Heretic. Gonna help him try and control that little blob of guardsmen and the Commissar himself, of course, and keep the Sentinel at bay. So it's important that he looks after this thing. Lord General's managed to tie it up in melee combat. There you see the medical sergeant that can hand out medical packs. I think he's just called a sergeant in the game, but a lot of people refer to him as the medic or something, since he's got those medical packs. Can hand them out to all allied units apart from the Lord General himself. He can't give himself medical packs, but he can give them to allied commanders, which is called 442, 452. Would be nice actually if the medical pack healed for more when it was given to allied commanders, much like the apothecary heals for more on commanders and sub-commanders. That's a nasty immolate on that little blob there. And a retreat from the two guardsmen. Freeman is going to need to be careful. He's deep in enemy territory. 428, 452. Shuriken set up really far up, and Banshees are bashing under Sentinel fire. They do take one of the generators. This Sentinel a bit of trouble here, but does get away. The Lord General going for his grenade launchers, and that's one of the weapons that his Stormtrooper retinue would also be given. The melter guns being the other one. Some Platoons on the field now for SuperHooper will help him try to deal with this Warboss a little bit with that shotgun blast and just going into melee with those power melee weapons. But here we see the damage of the triple shooter block. Oh yeah, if you hadn't realized, this is 2.3.1. We are live. Was launched on November 21st after a huge effort from the modding team of Myrdal, Wisewindu, and of course Keltos getting it together. And this update is massive, huge amounts of balance changes, both small and big. So make sure you go and read the changelog. The two big additions are the Chaos Space Marine ability, which we're obviously not going to see in this game, and of course the Chimera functionality, the mobile base, which we will hopefully see in this game. I'm not sure, I don't pre-watch the replays. You saw the Sentinel go down there incidentally, but I hope we do see some Chimera mobile base action. Might help them out a lot over here, because it's nice and spacious, a good place to set up defenses, and although there is a flanking route around the building, you can easily spot it coming. Artillery spotters on the field, they got a buff to their lasgun damage in 2.3.1, helping to force off the Banshees with their mortar shell there, and a power bash from the guardsman, double flamer guardsman, and one of them has been buffed with an executioner, looks like, from the Commissar Lord. That's his Inspire Courage, which buffs damage by 100% but prevents the squad from retreating for the duration. Now he has Carapace also. Gives him some self buffs when he uses the Inspire Courage. 395, 452 Orks pushing back hard though. Maybe they could push up for a power bash of their own, or is he going to help over on this west side? Shuriken keeping things at bay, good thing it was there. 395, 446, 2 gens on this contested and just 1 gen on this natural VP, natural power I should say. Looks like Sluggers just burnt it down. In fact, good play from PhatE, splitting his forces there. Sluggers unable to have much of an impact really with those Sentinels hanging around, so he's using them to power bash with the burners. Warboss getting on his way to level 2. The Warlock is level 2 with that Immolator. I'm sure he's killed a bunch of stuff with that. Lord General also level 2, and the Commissar Lord halfway through level 1, forced off there. Tons and tons of Dakar shooter boys, fully upgraded here with the big shooters and the Nob Leader. So tier 2 then, Chimera on the way for Freeman, so we might see that mobile base upgrade. It costs 100 rec, 30 power to purchase, and then you can lock down your Chimera. Takes 6 seconds to lock it down. Becomes immobile, gains some damage resistance and health, and spawns a beacon so you can retreat back to it. It's pretty cool. I imagine PhatE is going to get a weird boy, but we'll see. Might just get a Death Dread and try and stomp it through and keep that power bashed and harass things. Warlock uses his Disruptor, but is getting shot to pieces here. 395, 385 leaps in, but needs to retreat immediately. Commissar Leader up on these guardsmen, gives some nice damage buffs to the guardsman squad. And here's the Chimera mobile base, might be coming soon. No sign of it purchased yet. This thing allows you to reinforce and transport units in the field in its default state. 395, 360, and he uses it to easily force off the Eldar. Heretic needs to get some anti-vehicle on the field, maybe some Fire Dragons, maybe some Bright Lance from this. In fact, he does have a Bright Lance queued up. Lots of anti-vehicle options for Eldar once they hit tier 2. 395, 338. Commissar Lord all alone, gets caught out of position and has to retreat out. SuperHooper down to just 3 units. PhatE is doing quite well over there, it looks like. Now he has a Weird Boy as well, and that will pretty much counter his entire army if he blobs it up there. Triple cap now for blue team though. Can Dark Heretic push back against this Chimera? Has he purchased the upgrade? I'm not sure if it shows up in the unit card once he's purchased it. I don't think he has. Bright Lance getting shots. The DPS from this thing is pretty nuts. 45 armor piercing DPS. That is crazy. Does not snare targets though like a las cannon, or slow them down, whatever you want to say. Weird Boy on capping duty. There's a Basilisk Flare from the Commissar Lord from his global bar. Fantastic debuff. cutting range by a half on affected units. Really good for helping you push in, and the Warboss doing a really good job there, soaking up damage and forcing off the Commissar Lord. 392, 290. Who's going to win this shootout though? The Weird Boy, can he get one of his basic attacks in? He gets a Warp Vomit in, even better. The Shooter Boys were forced off. Still two of them there, and it's now Catachans versus the Weird Boy. Weird Boy needs to be careful not to get caught in melee combat by those guys. Here comes the Chimera over to the east side. Warp Spider's on the way for Dark Heretic, so he's going for the Haywire Grenade play to set up that Chimera for Bright Lance shots, and it's a Manticore for SuperHooper. Do we have Missile Launcher Sentinel? We do. 392, 290. Sluggers still harassing with those burners. They're doing a good job with that. Catachans catching him in retreat, but can't take a model, or can they? Looks like they do get a model with the help of the Commissar Lord. Artillery spotters on decapping duty, and here's that Chimera still. No sign of the mobile base. Ouch, rear armor hit from the Weird Boy. Does good damage to all targets with that basic attack, and they bash power there. 392, 290, first Manticore strike, and it's dodged by PhatE. Quick thinking there to get out of the way. He was right near base, so an easy decision just to retreat instead of trying to risk dodging it. They're completing the power bash unless Dark Heretic can do something about it. The Howling Banshees with the aspect of strength will be able to put pressure on the Chimera, especially if he gets that Haywire Grenade in. Warp Spider's at the moment in retreat, and it's a 2-to-1 cap for the red team. Stormtroopers now in the field for Freeman with the assault kit, I should say. Those hotshot las guns get increased range. Ouch. Destructor Immolate combo, nasty stuff. And SuperHooper is forced off. Freeman is alone. Can he hold against Eldar and Orks? Are the Orks going to flank him? Looks like they're going for a power bash. Chimera under pressure here, but he is able to back it away. Now the Bright Lance getting a shot in. Chimera levels up, does it? No, just a unit inside leveling up. Manticore strike. And the Weird Boy, quick thinking there, threw his boys out of the Manticore's path. Nice play from PhatE. His Shooter Boys completely avoided all damage there, and he bashes the power. Excellent stuff. Over there. Oh, he has Warpath as well. 374, 290. Invested a lot in this Weird Boy, and does not want to lose him, and retreats him out there to be safe. The wall of Lasfire continues. Chimera has really good repair support, of course, from those double guardsmen. The Lord General himself cannot repair, and he's gone for the sniper rifle, so the Stormtroopers are going to have even longer range, as well as these guardsmen. He wants to force off the Bright Lance before he brings the Chimera in. Bright Lance can't do a whole lot to infantry. It can use the Scorch ability, which is cool, but can't really hit them. Ouch. Immolates it into the Destructor again. Look at the death. That was like at least, I think, 8 models or so. These guys are not retreating right. Stormtroopers stuck in retreat. Was it because of the execute there? That was weird. They're not retreating again. None of them are retreating. Bit of a bug here. 374, 290. Really unfortunate for Freeman. Is it the Chimera? I don't think it's the Chimera. They are just stuck. Needs to just move them away, I think. There's a Manticore strike. 374, 290. Really, really strange. But they do get away. They do get away. So no harm done. That was really odd. Never seen that before. It seemed to be that the execute caused some kind of problem with the Stormtroopers retreating. But this is a massive engagement here. Set up by the Warp Vomit. Ouch. Big shot there from the Weird Boy as well. Sluggers trying to have an impact. They are level 3 from lots of power bashes, I think. And they also have their Knob Leader, but that's a full retreat there from PhatE. 374, 290. Bright Lance kind of isolated here, but does force the Chimera back. Weird Boy gets a shot, a big flush shot on the Catachans, and Banshees in amongst with the washout, suppressing nearby enemies, wiping out one of the guardsman squads. I think that was Freeman's guardsman. Chimera all the way back now, being repaired. Manticore strike on the blob of Dire Avengers, but they are able to retreat out. What is the Wid Boy up to? Getting way too close, using Warpath to buff his own speed and get away. 374, 290 steel. Now it's a single cap for blue. Are they going to get a triple cap? No, don't think they're going to try and take that. What's going on east side? It's Sluggers forcing off the Commissar Lord, and now they can cap. So, Imperial Guard are a little thin for the blue team in terms of numbers. But the Chimera is really giving them that good field presence and allowing them to stay on this central VP. Weird Boy needs to be dealt with. It's difficult though, it's difficult. Don't have anything to jump in with, obviously. And just trying to run in Ogryns would be a massive risk. Maybe put some Ogryns inside your Chimera and run them in. Because they can get inside there now, the Ogryns. Warp Spider's trying to cap. Now teleporting in to tie up the Lord General and use their Haywire. And here come Howling Banshees trying to finish off that Chimera. Are they going to be able to? As you can see there, the Haywire grenade not only snaring movement but also disabling all weapons as a Manticore, which would have been really, really nasty. The Chimera does live. 355, 273. Red team looking dominant in terms of map control, and they're keeping blue team pushed back, which is important, and not resting and sitting back. Looted tank on the field soon for PhatE, and Dark Heretic has some Wraith Guard, and why not? These guys are awesome, I think. Might be able to push forward and destroy that Manticore. That Manticore needs to be careful, that's for sure. Warlock now in retreat, having been revived by PhatE. There's the artillery smoke shell with a range debuff. It doesn't actually give a debuff circle when you use that. Maybe it should. 310, 273, 2-1 cap for the red team. Have a little bit of VPs to make up. Really cheeky little power bash there from some guardsmen, and they do get away safely. Unable to finish a gen bash there. Stormtroopers using their infiltration to get close and give line of sight for a Manticore strike. Strangely, the energy shields do give you 100% protection from the Manticore, which is why that Bright Lance was not destroyed outright there. 305, 273 does force it off though, so the Chimera can push forward as long as the Commissar Lord keeps those Wraith Guard tied up. Or here come Howling Banshees, and the Commissar Lord took one look at them and pegged it, but there is a rocket one, a fantastic rocket one as well. Wow. HUD doesn't quite finish off the Banshees. Banshees get away with 7 hit points. Pretty lucky to do so. Can they finish them off on retreat? Yes, they can. Massive, massive losses, and that has brought the blue team right back into this game, and immolate there on the blob of guardsmen. 303, 273. Beamy looters on the field, delivering huge amounts of damage. Doesn't tell me how much damage they do, but I think it's something crazy like 270 per shot or something. Armor piercing damage, obviously. Here comes a looted tank. Really good battle tank, I think. Orks have such a great tier 3. A good tank, good range unit, and a really good melee unit. And a good super unit too. Here comes that looted tank. Does have that disruptive boom shot, which is pretty damn useful. 291, 273. Manticore strike going for the looted tank. Manticores do a lot of damage to vehicle armor. And look, that was 2 missiles, I think, that hit. Almost half the health one. Was it 3 that hit? Kashyyykin on the field for Freeman in tier 3. They have crack grenades and frag grenades, and some really nice weapon options. In fact, in 2.3.1, their grenade launchers were buffed a hell of a lot. They have 50% more damage. They went from 40 damage to 60, and of course they have that constant knockback on every hit, so might be a really nice option for them in this game. 291, 273. Won't be able to knock back those Wraith Guard, but everything else is pretty much going to go flying. Warboss using his bang bang hammer to smack around the Commissar Lord. Might go down himself. Had Ardboys up, but it's not enough to save him against that Xenos Power Claw and Stubbornness buffing him up also. Weird Boy's going to need to be a lot more careful as well. That's an 85 DPS heavy melee weapon. The Xenos Power Claw. 275, 273's evened up on VPs. Red team are clawing it back slowly, but blue team have done a good job keeping themselves in this game. They were a little bit thin, but they used that Chimera well and have doubled that central VP when needed. SuperHooper's done a good job going over there and helping out. Leman Russ dropped by Freeman. Such a great global for the Imperial Guard. Was that a nuke? I think that is the remains of an Eldritch Storm there. Probably killed a whole bunch of guardsmen, but doesn't seem like it wiped any of the squads. 231, 273, triple cap for red team. Now some Kasukin on the way for SuperHooper. I will put the link to the release log in the description, by the way, guys, so you can check it out there. Tons and tons of changes. Down goes the looted tank. Ouch. 212, 273. Unfortunately, didn't get to see the mobile base upgrade purchase. Well, not yet anyway. Still some time to go. SuperHooper getting double Kasukin. Warp Spider's teleporting in. There's the Haywire Grenade. Chimera is isolated. No, but it should be fine. I don't think the Wraith Guard are going to be able to get close enough to finish it off. And here's a, what I assume going to be a repair bunker from Freeman to support his vehicles. Where's that Leman Russ? Here it comes back over to the west side. 2-1 for blue now. They have the mid and they have the west, and they are Imperial Guards, so they might be able to set up shop here and defend.
Now we've got a chance.
Fire Prism on the way for Dark Heretic. That might be a mistake because the Leman Russ will deal with the Fire Prism pretty nicely if it can get close enough. Fire Prism does have the range advantage, of course. And I think it got a little speed buff in 2.3.1 if I remember correctly. A little acceleration buff, I believe. 211, 236, AC of Orks moving in. Widboy gets a nice flush shot on the guardsmen. They're all being buffed by the fire on my target. And of course reinforcing off the Chimera. You see that repair bunker coming into play. 211, 224. I suppose the mobile base upgrade is not that useful for Freeman, which is why he might not have get it. Since his base is so close there, it's not a huge advantage to have a beacon there, and it might get him in trouble, in fact, if he retreats back to it and he's already in trouble. 211, 195. Warp Spider's trying to decap. Here come Wraith Guard, that short range artillery attack doing huge amounts of damage to all targets and suppressing infantry, and these guys themselves are immune to suppression and pretty tough too, so it's best to tie them up in melee combat or try and shut down their ranged attack with the artillery or the Basilisk Flare or something else that does that. Sluggers tapping a natural back. There's the Basilisk Flare to shut down this ranged blob of Orks. Level 3, level 2 and level 3 shooters. Yes, we have sluggers that were replaced by PhatE at level 3. 211, 142. Imperial Guard holding so far. Do the red team have what it takes to break this down? Not only do they have to get past the Chimera supporting all of this infantry, but there's a Manticore there, so if they want to stand there and shoot them down, they're going to get a Manticore strike in their face. War Truck on the way for PhatE, going to give him some infield reinforcement. There's that Immolator and another Manticore strike. That Manticore causing all sorts of problems now. I wonder if we can two-shot a Fire Prism, that Manticore. 211, 115.
Message received.
If he gets a rear arm hit, certainly. Warlock on capping duties. Level 6 have Providence and the Warp Throat. Another Manticore strike. There's two Manticores on the field now. Freeman has his own, and SuperHooper still has his, which is almost level 2. Providence unable to allow him to finish the cap, but he does get a decap in. We have an Executioner, Leman Russ, so not going to have the good range of the Vanquisher Cannon to chase down that Fire Prism. Big shot there from the Fire Prism. Commissar running in, shield up, trying to get close to all of that Dakar, but unable to do so. 211, 92. Orks having to defend their natural VP, and the Kasukin do have the grenade launchers. That is the Foot of Gork. Wow, that is nasty as well. I think it killed some of his own sluggers that were chasing in there. Wood Boy fully upgraded is level 2. Stormtroopers level 3, reinforcing off that Chimera. Taking damage though, need to be careful. Here come Warp Spiders. What they're trying to do here, they are haywiring the Manticore. Here comes a looted tank which might die pretty quickly. Can it finish off a Manticore before it does? Pushing with the Orks now, and here comes the Fire Prism as well, trying to finish off that Manticore. Surely they can do so with the Fire Prism there. Yes, down it goes. 211, 292. The looted tank lives as well. Really good push there from Red Team, but they are forced off en masse, so maybe that wasn't worth it. Down goes the looted tank as well. Can they get Leman Russ? Beamy Looters trying to get shots in, but now the Leman Russ is out of range. 175, 92, triple cap for the Red Team. One more shot on the Leman Russ will take it out, and there it goes. Wraith Guard finishing off the bunker also. Singularity goes off. It's all going off here. 151, 92 double cap for the Red Team after all of that crazy action. What did we see? We saw a Manticore go down, the bunker go down, Leman Russ go down, looted tank go down. Fire Prism doing really well so far. He's keeping it at that maximum range whenever he can. It's level 2 already. 129, 92. Freeman, can he recover from this? Lost his Leman, lost his Manticore, lost his bunker. Still has that Chimera, which is now level 3. Done really well for him. Stormtroopers level 3 also pushing up. Red Team get the double cap. It's Wraith Guard that cap there.
Captured the location.
They do have their Wraithbone ability. Also 112, 92. Blue Team take their natural back, but now it's the 2-to-1. Does this map favour the North Team, do you think? Since the natural, their natural is much closer to the contested there. Maybe slightly. Bunker is dropped. Is this going to be another repair bunker? I assume so. That Chimera certainly needs repairs. Beamy Looters setting up. Uh-oh, Manticore Strike might finish off that Fire Prism if it's not careful. Needed to move it a little bit further, that Manticore Strike. Fire Prism lives. Beamy Looters facing the wrong way, and there's the Basilisk Flare to facilitate the push. 80, 92 is so close, double cap for Red. There's a Rocks on the blob of Guardsmen. That's going to stop the cap. In fact, it wipes the squad out with a single rock. Ouch. Lord General will now try to cap. Kicking off over this contested VP. Here come Warp Spiders. And a Warboss. He's buffing those Warp Spiders every time that Bang Bang Hammer gets a hit and stealing the bunker. Very, very sneaky. 48, 92. A grenade on the bunker persuades them to leave. Level 3 Warp Spiders. They have done quite well too, I think. They've harassed this VP, haven't they? Red Team, Blue Team trying to take it back at the moment. Single cap, gonna get a double if the Warboss can finish this cap. He's level 4 with spiky armor and a Bang Bang Hammer and Ardboy's global buff on himself. But he's being knocked back by those Kasrkin grenade launchers. Look at him doing work. 25, 92. Single cap for Red. Can they stop the cap here on the mid VP? Here's another Leman Russ flanking the Looters so they can't get a hit. But now there are double Fire Prisms to deal with, and that D-Cannon of course, which does really good anti-vehicle damage and is pretty much guaranteed to hit.
We are ready to proceed, sir.
Sluggers bashing power again. 15, 92. Who's going to cap the mid? It's a 1-to-1. Do they want to throw everything on the mid, or do they want to try and sneak some caps of the naturals? Manticore Strike there and a rocket run. That is nasty. The Fire Prism lives, but will the Orks live this? Wow, they lived. Only because they are all level 4, I think. Yes. Really good rocket run. Forces them off at the very least. Can the Warlock? Level 8 Warlock. Good grief with Providence trying to cap here. 15, 92. SuperHoopers Kasrkin are now over on the east side. And the Commissar Lord looks like he's going to at least decap this for a single. Might be a very quick single though, but there's the 2-to-1 before he can get that. Can he get the 2-to-1 himself over on that east side? Just a killing field here. Look at the bodies everywhere. That is mad. Those double fire prisms are going to make it very, very difficult to cap. Eldritch Storm on the Leman Russ. One shot to the Manticore. Leman Russ survived somehow. Wow. Really? 1392. Leman Russ does have passive damage resistance, but down goes the Chimera. Finally, that Chimera did really well. Who the tank pushing forward doing this? Blue team's armies are depleted, and there is the GG. In fact, single cap from red. SuperHooper is still plugging away on the east side though. Looks like he might get the 1-to-1, but it's going to be a 2-to-1 soon, so it's not going to be enough. Red team are going to take this game. Some really good nuke usage right at the end there from both teams really, but the Eldritch Storm was the nail in the coffin, and these double fire prisms were doing a fantastic job. This one got to level 4, was awesome. And look at the commanders end of the game. Level 5 Lord General had the grenade launchers and the sniper rifle and a medical sergeant. Not sure if that medical sergeant lived though. Commissar Lord level 8 with the Xenos Power Claw, Carapace armor and stubbornness. The Warlock level 9 with Immolator, which killed tons and tons of guardsmen. Also has Providence and the Warp Throat. And the Warboss level 4 spiky armor. Bang Bang Hammer is down at the end there in a pile of bodies. Talking about a pile of bodies, look at this. Absolutely crazy. Death in massive numbers. Red team finishing off very strong, as you can see from their rosters. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. And go and check out 2.3.1